Absolutely. Thanks for calling me on, Jeff. I think on ESG, there's a real shift in patterns happening. Businesses and consumers are losing interest in ESG as they focus on other things like war, inflation, higher interest rates, protectionism, and an energy crisis. But government scrutiny in 2023 of ESG, we think will rise. So we think there'll be more government scrutiny of greenwashing and regulation around ESG disclosure. Businesses will become accountable in some jurisdictions for their scope 3 emissions, which of course are the big emissions, but are difficult to calculate because they're across the entire supply chain. There'll be pressure on social media platforms to act on misinformation on climate change. So businesses are declining. In a recent survey that we looked at, when we asked business executives all over the world, what's the big themes that will impact your business in 2023? Only 11% said ESG. 24% said digital transformation, and 22% surprisingly said trade disputes like the US-China trade war.
Cyrus, let's come back then to Tesla, because you do have it as one of the key themes that we do see continued expansion in EV sales. Even as I think we've seen a lot of government support and subsidies begin to fall away. Why do you think we get a strong continued pickup in EV sales in the US and in China, given that the cost of electricity is also very high right now?
Absolutely. The cost of electricity is high, but we have a massive spending program in the US from President Biden's administration that subsidizes electric vehicles. And of course, China, electric vehicles and batteries, that's one of the leading technologies that it wants to dominate. So I think both on the Chinese side and the US side, we're going to see a rise. Our analysts at Global Data, they forecast US EV sales to increase by 60% in 2023, and globally, changes in government regulation will mean a 35% increase in EV sales globally, from 8 million in 2022 to almost 11 million in 2023. And Tesla, of course, is a market leader, although the Chinese players are catching up fast. And I think Tesla will struggle in the Chinese market, although it'll be dominant in all other markets outside there.
Cyrus, my old friend, good to see you. I didn't know I was going to get one more stab at you this year, but look, I have a question, and it is an eternal question, and I love your thematics, and I absolutely adore speaking to you about all these amazing technologies that I always learn something. My problem is the viewer's problem, and that is, despite the fact that I thoroughly believe that most of these technologies will become part of our life in days and years and weeks going forward as well, I don't know that our viewers can make money out of a lot of these as well. Where are the biggest blind alleys you would see that have occurred in 2022 and will happen in 2023, where the technology is arriving, but it's just a real struggle to make profitability out of it? And one of the great examples for me for that is 5G yet again.
Yeah, I think I think 5G is such a misconstrued sentence, in the sense that everybody means something different from it. I think if you look at the applications of 5G, the metaverse is a big one. But in 2023, I think we're going to have a metaverse winter. I think VC investment in the metaverse is going to fall, both from investors and from big companies like Meta. Although long term, by 2025, we see the metaverse as a big market. In 2023, we see problems. In fact, the big winners, we think, in 2023 from that kind of theme are going to be the gaming companies, Epic Games, Roblox, and Microsoft, if the Activision takeover goes through.